And I know it cannot last, but at last I can finally breathe. And I know it cannot last, but at last I can finally see.
Welcome everyone to my Google SEO guide, and this is just going to be a quick demonstration of how to use long tail keywords and a quick awesome tool that I have come up with to help you get the data that you need. So I'm going to first go ahead and explain what Google SEO is, or just SEO in general, which is basically the search terms that somebody is typing into Google, and whatever they type in there, Google or whatever search engine that you're using is going to keep track of how many users are searching for those particular terms. And the idea behind this method here is very simple. You're looking for words that are going to be, or phrases that are going to be long, that a lot of times people will be searching for this, and there might not be a whole lot of competition that are targeting for these particular search terms. So I'm going to show you what I had gotten. I have a list of different keywords that I had generated, and basically you're going to want to build everything about your copy and all your titles, headings, alt tags, anything that any piece of content that you're putting on a particular web page, it needs to be optimized to the fullest. So here we're doing this YouTube demonstration as an example, and so I've already started building up the copy and the title for this, and it's going to be called, for the video, it's going to be one easy way to increase your search engine ranking optimization, a simple Google SEO guide. Now, I have two keywords here, and if you don't know what keywords these are, it is search engine optimization ranking and Google SEO guide. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight this so I can see where it's at, and this right here is the data that I had gotten. So this is basically saying that this is 34 characters long, and that between 100 and 1,000 people are searching this every single month. The competition is about 8% of all content providers, and I'm not certain if that's really 8% of all the sites that Google has indexed, but they only present it in this number, so I'm just going to call it 8%. And then the second one here is Google SEO guide, and now this has a lower score and it has 16 characters, but again 100 to 1,000 people are searching this every month, and the competition for this one is slightly higher. And you can also see that in the bid. So here is if you're using AdWords, for example, and you're buying these ads, this is going to be what you're going to be basically paying or expecting to pay for your ads. So this is a great way to get an in-depth view of what you can spend for advertising, or what you can spend for building your content and natively or naturally getting the viewers to your content without having to pay for the ads. And so I'm going to show you the content here, or the copy that I had come up with. So this is a how-to guide on what is a keyword search. Now I'm going to show you this right here. This right here is one of the keywords. So this is what is a keyword search, and if I go ahead and highlight this, I believe, where's that? It might be easier if I do what? What is a keyword search? So again, between 100 and 1,000 people are searching for this every single month. The competition for this is very low, and even if I were going to use ads, then the price of this is pretty nice compared to paying maybe something like this and expecting somewhere around the same type of results. So it is very important to understand what a keyword search is. So this is basically a guide on figuring out what is a keyword search. You might be wondering, what in the world is SEO? And again, SEO is just the way that search engines rank your content. So say I have a beautiful website and I have a bunch of pictures on there, or I'm doing this YouTube video, and there's no way for the search engine to read that image. There's no way for the search engine to read that or watch that video to put you up in the rankings. So you have to have every little piece of text that you can to basically come back to these search terms, because this is what Google or any search engine is looking for, is what is the text that's being displayed on the web page to rank that piece of content. So if you were to take all these keywords and you just jumbled them all up and you just made one giant keyword spam block, that's bad, and that's not good practice. So you see here, I am trying to break everything down while as many times using the same keywords over and over and over again, and I kind of lost track on some of these counters, but like for example this one here, I have my last counter set to, I have this 7 times in my copy. And so you want to keep repeating the keywords as much as you can, but at the same time you want it to be very readable to the human user, because if the human user sees this, they're gonna think it's and it's just too spammy or just all confusing, it's gonna look bad. And then Google is gonna be like, whoa, if I take a look at the bounce rate, which means is if you understand Google Analytics, if you look at the bounce rate, that basically means when a user comes to your site or to your piece of content, are they continuing to go through your content, or are they leaving your content pretty fast? And so that's another number to end up looking at, but that's a topic for another day. But you want everything to be nice. You want it to be readable for the human, but also understand what the search engines are trying to look for with their automation. So again, what is it? It's basically providing your content with valuable information, but also giving the search engines what they want, which helps increase your keyword position. Doing this will allow more users to see your content and give the search engines, power to display your content to the people. This isn't limited to your own website, but how to also optimize the YouTube videos to get more eyeballs to your videos. So again, like I said, if I'm posting this on YouTube, then the search engine cannot watch the video to figure out what your video is about. So in the description, which this copy is all for the description, this is what the search engine is going to be looking for, as well as the title. Now I'm going to go ahead and show just a web page here. So I'm just using this as figuring out how many letters or how many characters are in a particular keyword here. But if I take a look, and this is pretty basic, but maybe if I click here, headings like this one here, would be where you'd want a keyword to be. Like if it's a title of something, place a keyword there. If it's a link, if you're familiar with HTML, so I'm gonna just pop this up and see if this site even has one. They don't, but there's also tags that you can use inside of the links. There's tags that you can use inside of the images. So here, how to count characters in Microsoft Word 97 to 2002. So if you take a look at this, this is what their keyword phrase is going to be. Now, I don't know what particular part of this is the actual keyword and what part of it is supposed to be also for the human reader or human user to read. But if I go ahead and look at that, that's 52 characters, and this is exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to long tail keywords. And I'll kind of explain this. So let's go back to my copy here. And so I'm basically using long tail keywords to boost my content. Okay, yeah. Wait, I know I had it here. So when a potential customer is searching, they might type in cars into Google. But if you type in cars into Google, so let's do that right now. There are like here, right here. That's a lot of search results. You are competing against a lot of major companies if you were just targeting for the keyword cars. And it's very short because and everybody's trying to use it because it's simple, it's sweet. You know, you don't want simple and sweet. You want very specific words or searches that people are doing. So if here you know, you're trying to fight these well-established websites and you're not going to get anywhere. So the idea with long tails is that you want your search terms to be a lot longer than simple 4-character search term. And so with the long tail thing, so like if I say Chevrolet cars, that's a total of 14 characters. Now that's not very long, and that can be good or bad depending on your particular niche. But if you really want to go in depth, you want to get more detail into it, so it'd be 2018 Silverado, and so now that is 24 characters long. But then maybe a person is searching up red 2818, so now you're increasing, you're getting more and more narrowed down into what the user is actually searching. And that is the whole idea about this. But to figure out how to even do this keyword research, you're basically going to need, I think I started posting it, where is it? Because I didn't finish this copy. Here it is. So keyword search is basically the way in which you find what are your end users searching for, as well as what your competition is targeting against. So with that in mind, you'll have a better eye on your customers as well as the competition, and you're going to use a service like Google AdWords Keyword Planner. So I'm going to go ahead and show you that. So this is Google AdWords Keyword Planner, and you type in something for your keywords, and you get a nice list of all the different things that people might be searching for that are related to the particular keyword that you have posted there. Now, if I go ahead, and I'm going to show you how to get here. So I'm going to go ahead, remove all of that. And you're going to need an AdWords account. So if you don't have it, sign up for it. It's absolutely free. And then I believe you just click on this little tool here, and you click on Keyword Planner. And then once that loads, then you can go ahead and click on Search for New Keywords, type in the keyword there, and then go ahead and hit Get Ideas. And then from here, there you go. You have all that data. Now this is going to be confusing. Like, what do you know? How do you figure out what is good data inside of this? And like, you know, you have to manually do this. And so I'm a programmer, and my biggest thing was I was doing this. I would go ahead, download the Excel document for the keywords. Go ahead and open this up. Close that. Save that for later. I'm going to drag this over here. So if I go ahead and look at this, this is the CSV or the Excel document that you get when you download it, and it's a little bit easier to figure out what the data is here, but you still don't have a great way of getting that data that you really want. So you have to start doing manipulation. So the method that I learned was I would go ahead and do an Excel formula called length, which just gives you the length of a particular keyword or a particular cell, and I would go ahead and copy that, and I would hold down Control Shift down, hit paste, and then I would start going, okay, I need to go to data, I need to start sorting this out. So now here, like cars, apparently that's something everyone was spamming, but see, look at that, it only gets 10 to 100 views a month, or searches a month, and the competition is pretty high. So then you had to start sorting out between this data column, and then you had to start sorting out between this data column, and it was becoming a hassle for me when I was going through multiple lists. So I'm going to take this same document, and I'm going to put it into my handy dandy tool that I made. So I have this folder, and I'm going to delete these. Those are the keywords that you saw that were running at the beginning of the very start of this video. So now I'm going to kind of go into the details of what you actually saw there. So I built this nice little Python script here that will go ahead and take whatever CSV is inside this data folder, so you can dump a bunch of them in here. So if I want to say cars, I want to do trucks, go ahead and hit download. Save that, move that over into here. So now I have all of that into that folder, and then whatever stuff is in there, I go ahead and run this, and right now the version that you guys will be getting won't have all this stuff, or some of this stuff, but it all does the same thing in the end, and I'll show you how to customize it if you need to. But you will need Python. I will work on getting it so that it's an executable for Windows users, and if you use Mac, I'll figure out how to get it to work with that. But just leave a comment below so I can figure out what's the best way for me to get this program out to you, because in the meantime I'll have to just show you how to do this in Excel. But if you do understand how to get Python, then this will just be the most simplest tool in the world for you until I get it as an executable. But so right now this basically says please give us a prefix to save this output file. So this is just going to be tutorial 3, because I think I already done a couple other things. So it's going to search for the long tail keywords. It found 2 files that were inside that folder, and it found a total of 55 results, and out of that was perfects 0, best 0, greats 4, goods 3, all rights 8, and mess 40. And then it goes ahead and looks at the next list and does the same thing, calculates it, and says, alright, we're going to spit it into an output file. And if we go into saved, tut3, go ahead and open that with Notepad. Here is now all that data nice and sorted out for you, and it's ranked in a very nice way. So like here it's going to say it's going to be a great thing that you might want to look at. Again, this is not the best things that you may want to go with this one, because it has 13 characters long, but if you also look at it, it also has 10,000 to 100,000 searches a month, and the competition for it is pretty darn low. And again, look at that. If you're an advertiser, that bid price is also very low. So when I get it all working up for everybody else, here's the code. If I get it working for everybody else, I could go in here and say, alright, I don't want this to be searching for, because what was it? 2. So I don't want it to be outputting the, sorting it by searches. I want to see it more by the bid price instead. So if I go ahead and hit run for here, tut bid, and then go to the output here. Now this is the same data, but it's now sorting it out by, if you're like, for example, if you're an advertiser, the best ones will be up at the top, and say, hey, so here there's what, four results, and if I look here, there's also 4 results, and it's just sorted out by the bid number instead. So you can switch this out later on. I haven't fully gotten it fully ready, but what I do have publicly available is pretty much the same thing. It just doesn't have the sorting. And I did play around a little bit with the scoring system, so I'll have it set up where you can also configure that will best work with your searches. But it makes everything very nice and simple and easy for you to use. And if you look at this, you're really looking for things like this one: used trucks for sale near me. Oh, never mind. Look at that. The competition is... So what I need to do in the scoring system is, if it has a really high competition level, that needs to start deducting points. So instead of this being 6, this should really be like a 3 or a 2 or a 1, because I mean that's you're not gonna compete against anybody with that. Like that's pretty hard. I mean, you're gonna be competing with a ton of people with that. Oh my god, fucking Discord. That's like distracting my train of thought there. Okay, but like this one. Used commercial trucks for sale. Between 1,000 and 10,000 searches, and the competition is only about... Oh wait, no, that's a 90. Whew. I picked a really bad niche to kind of use it as an example. But hey, it's good for my coding purpose to get this a little bit better. But like, if I go to no, this one, no, this one. This one's a lot better to kind of see, because it's less saturated with the type of stuff that you're competing against. So for example, here the competition is 1.01, so that's good. I was getting thrown off because I didn't see that 0 and I saw it like that, and no, yeah. So you're really wanting to find stuff that is going to be beneficial for you. So if it doesn't know what the bid price is going to be, it just says unknown. And I think that just means in Google's eyes, I don't think people have ever decided to bid for that particular keyword. I'm not certain how they go about it. You can also, sort in here by competition and stuff, but I find that it gets kind of laggy because you have to like do all this loading, and you still gotta like figure it out this way. And my favorite method that I've learned was, like I said, I would go into Excel and I would go ahead and go into here, do length, select the keyword, go ahead and copy this, then hit Control Shift down, paste that. Then I would go ahead, take this column, sort it so that the highest keywords were being shown up at the top, and then I would go and do a color code up to about 25, and I would go ahead and say, okay, this is going to be my yellows, and then I would go all the way down from here to say 20s, and I would make that kind of I guess like a light green, and then go from here to about, I don't know, say 15-ish. Like, again, it really depends on what your niche is and the type of words that you see here. So, like, sometimes it is going to be, you know, all depending on, you know, the type of stuff that you're doing. But it gives you a nice idea. Now, in the past, this method was really easy because if I went to this column, then I could go ahead and hit data, sort, and before it used to tell you the actual search results, average search results. Now it just gives you a range. So like if I go into one of my old ones, go into used, old random, no, not old random, too old. So like here from 2015 to about 2016, if you look at this, they actually used to give you a number here, and that was really nice, like really nice, and it made it a lot easier to sort these columns out. But because these are now now that these are set up like this with a dash and stuff, when I have different data values, like this one's not doing too bad. So here, this doesn't make sense. You know, 100, and then this one says 100K to 1 mil, and this one's 10K. Like the sorting out, you're gonna have to be, you know, you're gonna have to watch it if you're using this Excel method this way. But you could still do it this way. Ignore that averaged monthly search column and go by the competition column, and you're gonna sort that one. And you're going to basically sort it by smallest to largest, and you really don't want to go above you know, 20. You really don't want to go above 20. I try to always keep my golden area between 0 and 10. And sometimes you're going to see in competition that this value is going to be nothing. I do not know if that's absolute 0, like there's no competition, or if that is just they don't have data represented for that yet. So I tend to kind of steer away from when it's completely blank. But if it has 0.01, oh, that's like my golden nugget right there. As long as this value here, like if this was highlighted as a yellow, and then this was also like the value there, I would totally target this, because you're not fighting a bunch of people in your competition. The average searches that are for this particular keyword is in a nice little area. You know, it's not going to be crazy, like, you know, 100K to 1 mil. I mean, you may find those lucky golden eggs, but I would not, you know, count on it, or you know, have too much wishful thinking for that. The idea is to organically create the content around these types of keywords, so that as you start ranking up your content, you will then be able to start targeting for lower character keywords. And once you start targeting for lower character keywords, the higher you'll be able to go up in the rankings. And so then when, you know, the average Joe goes ahead and types in truck, you will be up at that top spot. But because you are not, you know, because you're not having that ranking, you're not going to have that. So you got to think a lot smarter. You got to figure out, how do you do that? You got to figure out exactly what it is that people are searching for. Like this one, looking to buy a used truck. That is very targeted. You know exactly what that person who's searching for that keyword or that particular term is. You know, but don't get too carried or like don't get too downsided that it's only 10 to 100 or it's only 100 to 1,000. You know, I might not get. It doesn't matter. You keep building your content at one piece after another, one piece after another, and once you get all that content built up, it starts flowing. The traffic just starts coming. It's very nice. It's very simple, and but here's the script that I will have here for you. So I'm going to basically show you how to configure this. So this one, like I said, doesn't have the sorting parts in for the public users, but eventually it will. I just got to get all certain things, you know, sorted out. But basically you're only going to want to really focus with what is it that's going to be your competition range here, and then what might be your search values that you're searching for. So, you know, these ones you're probably not going to want to change at all, and then maybe these ones you might want to, like, it's you know what, maybe I'll just update it right now. I'll just go ahead and do it this way. Copy this, and then you will have exactly what I have there. So then now you can actually go ahead and change this number here to be what it is that you want the output to be. So if I put this as 4, it's going to go ahead and save all the searches sorted out by these particular instances. So whether it be the bid, the competition, how many people are searching, or even the keyword length, that can be very beneficial to figure out, and going through that data a lot easier and a lot faster. And then I think right here is like the only thing that you may want to play around with is, you know, if it's going to be, this should also say less than or equal to, because it does include 12, but you might want to put that up to like 15, and then here again you probably won't want to change that, because like I said, you know, if it's at a 0.2, I mean, it's not the best, but you know, I have gotten in the past decent results with that. So you know, I don't knock it. I just say it's not my favorite. Oh, and then here I did add in like some of the good ones. So like this one now includes the perfect searches. So it's, you know, it's actually better that I updated it here on Pastebin. And then this all stuff you don't even need to go into. So I really hope you enjoyed this guide. If you liked it and you think it was beneficial, please, you know, put a comment down below, or share this video. Prefer a comment, simply so that I can engage with people and figure out what it is that I need to do. Maybe this video is too long. I know it's already going into about 30 plus minutes, but you know, it is a pretty in-depth video, or it's a pretty in-depth tutorial on figuring out what it is that you need and how do you get it. And the best way is, like I said, Google AdWords. You know, Google is your best friend. You know, they collect so much data for everybody, and a lot of that data is very easy to get back from Google, so it's not like they're just hiding it for themselves. You know, as an advertiser, this is great. As a content creator, this is great. And as a person who, you know, is just an average searcher on the internet, that's great for them, because even though they won't ever have to deal with this side of the things, it's people like us that will provide them the content that they want to see. And by, like I said, like if I go back here to my copy, you want to make, like I said, I can't stress this enough, you want your copy to not be spammy at all. You want this to be 100% human readable and and makes sense. But at the same time, you still got to look for those keywords and place them in any place you can. Any place that makes sense, put it in there. And once it, you might have to change up the copy a bit, you might have to change up grammar, you might have to think a little bit more on sentence structure, but the more natural it looks, the better it's going to be for you. So I'm going to just find another example for a couple links and see what other little SEO stuff I can kind of pull out for you guys. So go ahead and hit view page source. So they got a picture right here, and I'm gonna go ahead and right click on this, and their alt tag for this image is car talk. And if I look up here, now this is the page source for the page. Not every website has keywords, but or like as a meta tag, because meta tags typically now don't have a whole lot of bearing on SEO value like it used to, but it still helps to have certain things. So like this one here, I don't believe the description tag for the metadata really applies a whole lot towards the SEO value, but some RSS feeds or some other services like Facebook doesn't use this meta tag, but Facebook uses this one, FB and then colon, and maybe this one might not be a great one to look at. Maybe we'll take a look at this one. That's not good. Maybe here, keywords. That one sucks. I mean, when I say sucks, it just means in terms of what I'm trying to show you, not in terms of the actual SEO value, because I'm not actually digging into that. I'm just trying to kind of give you an example of things. Maybe I'm being a little too technical here, so I'll just show it easier from front-facing point of view instead of back-facing point of view, because this here is back-facing. I'm a programmer, web developer, and so I'm very used to being, looking at this kind of stuff. But to make it a little less confusing, let's just stick to front-facing. So like I said, images there have those little tags called the alt tag. Oh, actually, I think this one's a link or an article. Perfect. So. And then also, again, I know I said that I wouldn't, but I still. Oh yeah, Facebook doesn't use FB. It's OG. It's been a while. But let's see. Best-selling used cars. So I'm assuming that their keyword here is going to be used cars. Now, because CarMax is a pretty freaking high-ranking website that's targeting cars, they can get away with these low-tail keywords, meaning small amount of characters. But let's see, if I take this and I do a search, they're using it 8 times purely just for text, headers, links. Links are always good. Another little SEO thing is you should always have I should say as many, but you should have a lot of links in your articles or content if you can. YouTube, in my YouTube copy, you can't have really links. I mean, I can put a link, but it's not the same as a web page link. Like if I was running a WordPress website, like most small businesses do, uh, I would not have this say ready to shop. Look at http colon buythiscarnow.com. I would literally just have it say, hey, buy this car, have it linked to that, and then have it that. You're gonna want basically what's called a few outbounds, which is links to other websites, and then you want a lot more inbounds. So if you look at here, this is an inbound link. It literally just goes to carmax.com/cars, and you can see that when I hover over it down at the bottom there. Same thing here. It's all in CarMax, because this is all branded for this particular company. They want the eyeballs to stay on their website, and that's why I was talking about earlier about this thing called bounce rate, and that plays a little bit a pretty decent impact on your ranking, where if they go to your site and they don't find it interesting and the value of the content isn't good for them, and they feel that it's too spammy, not relevant to what they were really searching for, like you need to make sure that what you're targeting, the content matches the target. So if I had a high ranking keyword, or like a great keyword to search for Justin Bieber, but I'm putting it on a car website and nothing about the car website has anything to do with Justin Bieber, well, why did the person even come to this website to begin with? They're just gonna leave in a few seconds. So yeah, so the links that are in here, if maybe they didn't like that particular content but they found your site appealing, they might go ahead and click on one of these links that link inside of your website, and again, that helps a ton. So have those links. Any images that you have, make sure you have that thing called an alt tag attached to it. All your headers, try to include some sort of keyword inside your header. Not every header needs a keyword, but it definitely helps. Again, it all plays towards like the type of content that you're providing, and making it 100% human readable, and not too spammy. Like if I just had go buy this car here, and then I really like this car here, and like say this car here was the keyword, and you just kept repeating that over and over in like 5 paragraphs, in every time in one of the paragraphs, it could become annoying. It depends on, again, all depends on the type of content, all depends on the type of niche that you have, and what your goals are. But yeah, this is how you would go ahead and boost up your Google SEO or your YouTube SEO through using, by using targeted data, to best figure out what it is that you need. So hope you enjoy, and again, please, I can't stress this enough, please comment below, tell me any kind of feedback that you think. If I skipped over something, if I went, it was a little too confusing or something, go less technical, go more technical. Any kind of feedback helps me build better content, and I really appreciate you watching this video, so thank you. Oh, and again, I really hope you enjoy this Python script. All you gotta do is get Python. I don't think these are all native things, so once you install Python 2.7, you will be able to run this until I get an executable version ready and post it up. So yeah, hope you enjoy. Thank you. Have a great day.